first on CBS Mornings. We love when that happens. Mackenzie Scott has given away billions since 2020 following her divorce from Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. And now she's donating, here's the drum roll, please, $133.5 million to the nonprofit Communities in Schools, also known as CIS. The organization helps more than 1 million students nationwide navigate issues inside and outside the classroom, giving them access to things like food, housing, healthcare, and technology. Ray Saldana is CIS's president and CEO. He's also an alum of the program, so he knows what this is all about. Here's a very dramatic moment that he revealed the donation to the group's founder.
Instead of saying it out loud, I might share it and let you see it for the first time. That's the total.
That's the total.
How did she ever know about us? Holy mackerel. Should I say it? Am I allowed to?
You can say it because it's hard to say sometimes.
It's 133.
I love a holy mackerel moment, don't you? Ray Saldana, good morning to you.
Good morning.
But you're the one, Ray, who got that initial call. So set the scene. You're in a hotel, you're at home, you're in the classroom. What happened?
Yeah,
the phone.
I was in a hotel room, and, you know, as a head of a nonprofit, you're always just thinking about the work, you're thinking about the people, you're thinking about the impact. And this call came out of nowhere, and they described what was this news that the head of a nonprofit, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity because you think about all of the work that you can do to
But what did
deploy
they
this.
say? What did they say?
Well, they described that they were going to be making an unrestricted gift to our organization, and they were going to make a gift to our office and also directly to the affiliates where the work is happening every single day.
What did you think unrestricted meant?
Well, in our world, it's rare. Oftentimes when we get a gift, it's prescribed. But in this case, it meant that you've got the flexibility, and they had trust in us. And,
Wow.
And she is so,
I know, but how much did you think it meant? You couldn't have thought it was $133 million. That's what I mean.
The upper limits of my imagination were we would be lucky if we get a $10 million gift.
Whoa.
And that's what I had expected, and hopefully that's what I might hear.
Why do you think you were picked, your organization?
You know, we will never know, and the team was really good about saying that what they do is a ton of research on your organization. So we were taking a test we didn't know we passed a test we didn't know we were taking.
Yeah.
Now, when you work in a nonprofit and with a nonprofit, there's long days, short mornings. You're oftentimes very exhausted. You work in faith because you don't see the end result. What does this say about the people behind this nonprofit?
Oh, gosh. You know, I think about this from a very personal perspective because our work really is about placing a trusting adult in a school to interact. And I had a CIS staff member when I was going through school.
Really?
So I think about the 3,000 staff that we have inside schools working alongside our principals and teachers, the hope that they now have as they think about expanding to touch more lives and impact more students. It's just incredible because that's not something you expect. You try to reach your ambition and your mission, and we want to get into every Title I school that is serving students of low income, and that's me, that's my neighbors, that's my community. And to think about how difficult the last 2 years have been really puts in place the gift and how this is going to accelerate our growth.
Personally, what did it do for you, Ray?
Yeah, so I met communities in schools when I met Mrs. Reyes, and we have staff who is trained to go into schools where you work with students, and they not only build a relationship with you, they work on addressing social and emotional needs and removing barriers. And as a first-generation American, first in my family to graduate and go to college, it was, again, the upper limits of my ambition were, sometimes around my environment. So they really expanded the universe for me. And so as I think about how we can do that for more students, especially around how we're suffering so much through the emotional trauma of COVID, this is what we need inside our schools.
When you talk about removing barriers, what kind of barriers are being brushed aside because of donations like this?
What this allows us to do is to really, as our name says, bring a community of support inside our schools to empower students to not just graduate from school, but achieve in life. And so some of those barriers for students who have lost a caretaker, whose family member may have lost a job, creating instability, those are problems that sometimes surface in schools in outbursts or students who have their heads down. living just below the surface. Those are those conflicts that if we don't address students can't get turned on to learning unless they're turned on to living. And the living is the hard part. And that's what we are there. Everything from food, shelter, to clothing and mental health services. That's what's needed to get these students turned on to learning.
Yeah.
Have you talked to Mackenzie Scott?
No, I haven't.
You haven't talked to her?
What would you say to her?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the amount of gratitude in my language, muchísimas gracias, for what this is going to do for the ambitions of our organization. To think about, we have this twinkle in our eye about growing into every Title I school.
Yeah.
We're in 3,000 schools today. This helps us really drive, and because so much pressure has come down because of the pandemic, we can now bring more staff into the schools that we're in already, and this is amazing.
I hope you get a chance to meet her. I've met her.
Yeah.
She's lovely. Please tell her she has a seat at the table right where you're sitting whenever she wants to, because the work she's doing is amazing.
Yeah, setting
The work
records.
you guys are doing is amazing.
Yes.
And as you know, the work is just beginning.
Yes.
Grace Abdania, thank you so much for